And I just asked Malcolm Roberts also to come and say a few words. Malcolm.
Thank you very much. And thank you to the organisers for organising this. Wonderful. Good to see you, Marty. And can I see the show of hands of people who have come from the mines here today? Put your hands up. Come on. Well, I'm with you because we are in this together. My grandfather was a miner in Wales in the underground. My father started in the mines, started in the pits at 16, and he became Chief Inspector of Coal Mines here, wrote landmark legislation improving the safety of these mines. And after I finished my uni education, I decided I better go and learn something. So I worked as a coalface miner for about 3 years all around the country, and including mostly underground. So I'm very, very proud to be a miner, extremely proud. And I think that's everybody's right to be proud of being a miner. When I was a mine manager and a general manager, I always said to people, you're not just going down the pit to get some black rock out. You're going down there to turn the lights on around the country, earn export income. We are the #1 export income earners in this country. Let's think about, and pat yourselves on the back. Let's think about, I'm going to give you some facts in a minute that'll scare the crap out of you. Let's think about some of the benefits of coal. They're demonising steaming coal, right? What's the other half of coal? Coking coal, right? For a steel. How did these convoy people get up here? They crossed the Bass Strait in a steel ship made of coal. They then drove up in steel cars made of coal. They used synthetic rubber made of coal. They used plastics made of coal. They used glass made with coal. These people dress in synthetic fibres made of coal. They use cotton sometimes, and that cotton is grown, planted, harvested, trucked, processed with steel, which is coal. These buggers don't know what they're doing. It's more than that, and that's what I wanted to introduce you to, because I'm going to give you something real challenge later on. The third thing is that I was a senator with Pauline Hanson in the Senate, and she is the most wonderful boss I've ever had. She's tough. She is tough, but she is straight. Now, what I found out in the Senate is this, that I'm the only person to have started a debate on climate science in Parliament. And you know who I use that authority from? Senator Ian MacDonald is a Liberal Party senator. He looked across at me in the chamber in the Senate in the last Monday of 2016 in the Senate, and he said, I don't always agree with Senator Roberts, but I must commend him because until he arrived, they've never had a debate on the climate science. Did you just hear what I said? They have never had a debate on the climate science in Parliament. Never. Now, I'm also the only person to have held a government agency accountable as a senator. Pauline can back me up. I had 3 meetings with the CSIRO, and I asked them for their evidence that we're affecting climate. In the first meeting, in November 2016, I said to them, what, if anything, is the evidence showing our carbon dioxide is dangerous and needs to be cut? You know their answer? Oh, no. We would never use the word danger, and we never will. So I said, who has proclaimed carbon dioxide dangerous? You know, carbon dioxide comes out of power stations and car exhaust. It's essential for all life on this planet. And they told me, you better ask the politicians. The CSIRO, then in the second meeting I had with them, I asked them to tell me what, if anything, is unprecedented in climate. Because every storm that happens, every hailstorm, every bolt of lightning, we're told that we've caused it. The CSIRO gave me one paper, scientific paper, saying that the temperatures are unprecedented. That's the only evidence they gave us. It had already been destroyed overseas, that paper, and we tore it to shreds. And I'll tell you quite truthfully, as close as we are now, the head man at the time for the CSIRO's climate science team, Dr. Steve Rintoul, said, temperatures today are not unprecedented. Did you hear me? Temperatures today are not unprecedented. There is no evidence from the CSIRO. What's more, Dr. Megan Clark, who was the director of the chief executive of the CSIRO when this really became big, she had 2 board positions. She was on the board of directors of Rothschild's Australia Bank and Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Do you know what they stood to gain from carbon dioxide trading? $1 Trillions, not billions, trillions. This is the CSIRO. The head of the CSIRO's group environment group executive, Dr. Andrew Johnson at the time, later became the Bureau of Meteorology's director. We have just caught them out fiddling the temperature data in their latest report. They have changed temperature data from before 1970 to cool it, and the temperature data since 1970 to warm it, so that it looks like there's a warming there. The temperatures in the 1880s and 1890s were warmer than today. That is fact. So what's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Bob Brown pushed for global governance. He has come out publicly and pushed for global governance. He has told lies after lies after lies about climate, about coal, and about the Barrier Reef. There is nothing there. And who's paying the price? Who's paying the price? We are! And this is disgraceful, because I'll tell you who else is paying the price. And that is the people of India, who will get this cheap coal from Adani. High quality coal, as Pauline Hanson said. It'll reduce the pollution. Fair dinkum pollution, sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide, particulates. Carbon dioxide is not a pollutant. It is essential for all life on this planet. And they've demonized it. Why are they demonizing it? Because, exactly, money, you said. Because then they can tax you for it. They won't talk about coking coal, metallurgical coal, because they can't tax you for it. Coal is in everything. The real push here is a global governance, and that is fact. Pauline Hanson had the guts to call this out 23 years ago. 23 years ago. I didn't even know about it. And she deserves a very good, rousing round of applause. I didn't even know about it until about 8 years ago. And then I researched the climate and I found out what was driving it. And she was right. This is a global push to get control. They've already taken control of our water, right, Pauline? They've taken control of our property rights, right, Pauline? They've taken control of energy. They've affected families with legislation 50 years old. And Pauline's the first one and only one to get a review of the family law court legislation. They've taken control of the schools, of the universities. It is all crap. There is nothing there. The chief scientist, I held him accountable. And the chief scientist could not provide me with any evidence. He started to con us, and we showed him that we weren't going to be conned. He then looked at me and said, I'm not a climate scientist, and I don't understand it. There's your chief scientist. Now, the other thing is that Senator McDonald, I refer to him again because he asked a brilliant question. He has said to the chief scientist, in Senate estimates, what would be the effect if we cut down all carbon dioxide overnight? Just the whole of Australia. Nothing, not a 20% cut, 100% cut. We all go back to the caves and live. The chief scientist said, virtually nothing. So what I want to do to you is to put to you the fact that this is crap. And I want you to then think about these things. What can you do as a miner? What can you do as a farmer? How many of your coal mine executives are speaking out against this? How many? None. You're right. There are two actually, Gina Reinhardt and Keith DeLacy. So put to them, why aren't they protecting your jobs? Ask the CFMEU, why are they giving money to GetUp? Because GetUp's #1 campaign is to kill Australian coal industry. We have to work on this ourselves. Don't wait for the politicians. And the last thing I want to say to you is, this is not about just money. This is about control of our energy. So please remember, you are fighting a really good fight for freedom. Now, just down the road here in Barcaldine, something happened in the late 1990s. The Australian Labor Party was formed because of a shearers' strike. 1890s. What we need to do is remember that this is a Barcaldine. If we don't stop the protests and the Labor Party caves in, we're finished. We're finished. If you want jobs, you want cheap electricity, then we need to stand up to this ratbag lies. because it's really about freedom. Thank you very much.